Mickey, injury list later today, but is there any update on Bryce Gibbs, for instance?
Yeah, obviously it does come out today. Bryce is moving pretty well at this point. We expect him to be available. Obviously, there's a main session on Thursday, so he'll, along with a lot of other guys, be available for selection. So it's going to be an interesting week.
For that back injury, there's been some concern over that. I've had 2 spasms, I think, in 3 weeks. Did you come to the bottom of that? No, they haven't actually come to the bottom of it. Obviously, it's 2 spasms. They're investigating. They continue to investigate it. He's settled quickly this time, which is good. So whatever they're doing is working. It was disappointing, obviously, for him, to not get up for a showdown, but. He trained today, and I expect him to train fully Thursday, and he should be right to go. And Matt Crouch should be okay this season, and Douglas, good chance to come back through the sample.
Yeah, all those guys, once they get through the main training on Thursday, they'll be up for selection. Matt's got that corked hip, so we really don't know where that sits at this point. We expect him to play, but once again, he's got to get through that main session as well, and we'll see how he goes.
That sort of thing will come down to how he feels and how he moves, or are there things that the medic coach look at?
Yeah, there's a lot of trust in Matt. Obviously, he knows his own body pretty well. Medically, he's been cleared. It's just the knock that he's got to deal with. It's a pretty significant knock because he wasn't able to complete the game. So, yeah, there'll be obviously a medical assessment, but also from his point of view, he's as I said, he's been around long enough now. He's only a young man, but he's played enough footy to understand his own body. So we'll trust that.
How's Sam Jacobs at the moment?
Yeah, Sam's, he's recovering nicely. He's doing all the work that he needs to do. He was a bit crook on the weekend, which was a bit disappointing, but he's doing what he can to be available, I think, in 2 weeks. It's obviously going to be a situation, that we've got at this footy club now with a number of good players coming back. So, interesting times.
Yeah, given the rise of Riley O'Brien that we've seen recently, how tough will that decision be?
They're all tough, yeah, no doubt. It's Riley's going really well. We're really happy with what Riley's doing. I mean, he's only in his infancy in terms of an AFL ruckman, so he's doing well. Look, those decisions will come up in the next few weeks, and it's always good, tough decisions.
If Dougie do come back, would be the sample be the way to go, given the fact they've missed a fair bit of footy?
Based on the fact that we have no injuries at AFL level and we've been playing well, you would expect that, but. Once again, we've got to look at Brisbane. We've got to look at what's best for us to win this game this weekend. And if those guys are in the picture, then we'll make that decision. But at this stage, you would expect that the side no major injuries other than Matt, and we are going well. So we'll just see how it goes.
How did you enjoy your first showdown in that polo?
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I really enjoyed it. I've never even been to a showdown, so there you go, not even as a supporter. So that was my first one. Standing out in the middle when Port ran in on the oval was good noise, so it was exciting.
What do you, I presume you got a chance to go through the game. What have you taken away from it? I mean, the finals like games, I suppose.
Yeah.
Can you compare it to week in, week out football?
No, not really. It is increased pressure. That first quarter in particular was high pressure, and it was good football to watch, really, from where we were sitting. Both sides were going at it pretty hard. So, if anything, it compares as close to finals football as you can. And the positive for us was the ability to keep pressure on the footy, and obviously our tackle numbers were good and contested numbers were up, so which has been an improvement for us over the last month. So to stand up under that pressure was good to see.
That period when Port came back, was that them getting on top or you guys falling away?
No, they got on top pretty much. They got us at the stoppages and started to move the ball forward. They're a front half team. They were able to get it in there. They locked it in there. So it's difficult when you're playing a team that obviously just lets it all go, and we had to try to defend that. So I was really proud of the playing group. Obviously we stemmed that flow, kicked a couple of goals ourselves to stop the bleeding, but we gave ourselves a good enough buffer to make sure that we got the win.
Good. Don's suggested that the game's changed, but your game's changed. So has your game changed markedly in terms of the planning and the way you've decided to go about the game plan in the last 5 or 6 weeks, or is it essentially tweaking?
It's tweaking. It wasn't a massive shift, but I think you'll hear Don say it a lot, is you play whatever's given, and the game wasn't giving us probably the open field that we thought it was going to give us early in the season. So after that North Melbourne game, which we clearly had to look at ourselves and make some minor adjustments, we've obviously made those adjustments, and it's become, the games since then have been a bit more dour. I mean, the Gold Coast game opened up a bit, but the rest of them have been quite dour, and that's if that's what it is, we'll play in that space. And I think we've also proven that if it does open up, and when it does open up, that we can play that style too. So we'll just play what's given us.
We've got the sample size now to say, is this what we're going to get?
No, I think it'll open a little bit. I mean, there's still a lot of energy around the footy, a lot of fresh bodies still. So, the contested numbers are up. I think at some point, we'll open up. But, as I said, if it doesn't, we're happy to play that way as well.
Sorry, is it a game plan that JJ can fit into?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. Any player can fit into it, for sure. It's just, we would like to, when JJ was playing, we probably weren't giving him great service in many opportunities as well. So that's a bit on us. So, yeah, I think any player can fit in there. But JJ, he'll be available this weekend for selections, providing he gets through training. And, he's doing everything he can to get back in the side. Obviously, the side's playing well. And, it's difficult.
How are you enjoying your time in the AFL system?
Yeah, it's good. It's completely different, obviously, than running your own ship. The one thing that I've noticed is the amount of help you get. Obviously, I don't have to do everything, like charge computers and all the things that I used to do, blow up footies. But that's good, and I'm able to now narrow my focus a bit. Obviously, with the midfield, early days it was a bit difficult when I was watching games. I was watching the holistic part of the game, which is not really my role. So to now narrow my focus and just get onto the midfielders has made my job easier, and hopefully we're benefiting from that.
Given that both you, yourself and Marty Batner have a pretty extensive knowledge of the sample, is there anyone in particular that you've got your eyes on in the lower league come a couple of weeks' time in the mid-season draft?
To be honest, me personally, no, because I haven't had any time to watch really any sample at all, so I can't make I couldn't say if there is. I know players from last year, clearly, but yeah, that's the list management's role.
What do you make of the role? Do you have time in both camps?
Yeah, it's a difficult situation, I think, and the fact that I've seen both sides of it now. So obviously from a SAMFL, I'd probably answer this slightly different to an AFL team. But look, the rules are in place. List management will make their decisions. But yeah, it's certainly difficult. I can certainly see from a SAMFL situation how difficult that is. But I also understand that giving a player an opportunity at AFL level is exciting as well.
So if someone had said to you halfway through last year that Crow's going to take the best player, what would have been your reaction from a sample?
Yeah, from a sample point of view, obviously you wouldn't be real happy about it. But that's, we deal with that at the end of every year as well. So it's just you have to understand the situation you're in, which we are a development league at SAMFL when I was there, and that's a part of it. You have to, players can get injured too.
So you haven't had any blokes texting you saying I'm going pretty well?
No, there's a couple. No, they're all good. They know where they're at, and who knows what's going to happen. It might be we might talk about it a lot, and not much might happen. Who knows?
Reports say clubs will use it not only just to get a player that might fill a role this year, but to have a look at someone for your next list. Would that be the way the Crows will look at it too?
Yeah, I couldn't answer it, to be honest, Andrew, because I don't sit on list management, but potentially. I mean, if you're looking at a player that is going to be there more long term, then there's no doubt. Hopefully, if we are bringing in a player into our system, we're not bringing him in for 3 months. We're bringing him in to make them part of our system for a long period of time.
And Brisbane, obviously they're having a great season. How highly do you rate them?
Yeah, very highly. Obviously, they've had a really good start to the year, very similar to us in terms of the win-loss. I think that at home they've only lost one, I think, to Collingwood this year, so they're a tough challenge up there. But we feel confident in what we've been producing lately too.
And Lachie Neale's in great nick, obviously one of the favourites of the Brownlow. Do you look at maybe applying a tag to him? I know Ellis Yeoman is one of those blokes that normally plays that sort of role. Would he be a good fit, or how do you look at stopping him?
Yeah, I'm not sure if Cameron would be a perfect fit for Lachie, but I haven't probably got to that point of the week yet where we start making those decisions. But he's certainly a great player, Lachie, and one we have to watch pretty closely.
Can I just ask, generally over the 4-game winning streak, I think now, as the man in charge of the midfield, what's been working at the coalface for you guys in there?
Yeah, it's pretty boring, but our contested stuff, obviously, we're getting to each contest with multiple numbers. We're competing. We've been looking after the footy. We're not coughing it up as much as we were early in the year. Our rotations through there, so we're playing multiple guys. So there's a lot of improvement we've had in the last month, and we're starting to see that with, I guess, just the ability to get to the contest and then win the contest, where we weren't doing that at the start of the year.
Is there an aspect of better understanding between the midfielders? I mean, you've had a different ruckman come in, and a couple, like Brad Crouch hasn't played for a couple of years. Is that a factor?
Yeah, no, I don't think so. I think it's just evolution. It takes a little time to get used to things, and obviously Riley's come in and he's a different ruckman. He hits the ball slightly differently to Sam, and he obviously presses the game and runs different patterns as well. So there's some adjustment there, but Really, it's been just the players have been able to work harder to get to the next contest, and if you get an extra number, they're more than likely going to win the ball.
So have you worked on, in that 4-week period, have you worked on the exit from the contest so that you get a clean exit? So who goes to the ball and how many are staying out to get the feed?
Yeah, balance is really important around any contest in the AFL, because clearly you want to win it, but you don't want to put everyone in there. You have to make sure that you've got your exit points, whether that be by hand or by kick. So, yeah, we're doing that much better. Which is just what we have to do, week in, week out. We've been training it throughout the pre-season, but as soon as you get into games, things get thrown up, and we've just made minor tweaks. And as you can start to see, the work we've done in the pre-season is starting to show.
Is this one of your biggest tests of the year? This game?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think they've been going really well. They're going to be tough in Brisbane, there's no doubt. We've just got to do the basics really well, as we do most weeks, and just prepare. So I think, yeah, difficult conditions, difficult team to play against, but yeah, we're up for the challenge.
You've had that 4-week winning run we've spoken about. Do you feel like playing anywhere near your best footy as a group yet, or was there still a significant amount of improvement there?
No, I still see a fair bit of improvement in this group, definitely. Yeah, what we've done is we just righted a few wrongs earlier in the year. We played some poor football, and then we were able to arrest that. Now we've just got back to essentially playing, some good strong football, and now we'll start to add layers to our game and hopefully improve from here.
So they look at attacking layers?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, ultimately, we'd like to score more, but as I said earlier, you just get what you're given, and if that's what it is, then we'll just score at the level we're scoring as long as we get the full points.
Mick, you said the SNFL's development league. How would you be as a coach in the SNFL if one of the opposition started telling your player how to run and where to run?
Roughly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just curious.
Look, any help you can get from a great player, why not take it? So if he's willing to give up information, I'd take it.